The Safe Communities Partnership is a collaboration between the City of Spokane, Spokane Police Department, Spokane Public Schools, Spokane County Juvenile Court, Spokane Regional Safe Streets Task Force, and several businesses and nonprofits looking to help gang-impacted youth in our area.
The goal of the project over 2 years ago was to create a comprehensive gang model. So looking at how can we provide more prevention programs in our community to prevent youth from even joining gangs, then also looking at an intervention team model. So once a youth is impacted by gangs, how can we come around them with educational supports, job training, housing assistance, food stamps, etc.
A third element of the program focuses on suppression. Spokane Police work closely with campus resource officers to identify and build relationships with youth who may be flirting with gang involvement.
The Spokane Police Department recognizes that they needed partners in the community, and Spokane Public Schools is one of those partners. We have been in the schools for the last 4 years, recognizing that any sort of gangs is not geographically bound here in Spokane. So we need to get to different areas of our community and to be able to reach the youth where they're at. And that's in the schools and in the parks, and that's where our Spokane Police Activities League comes in.
Throughout the summer, PAL engages potential at-risk youth with athletic, academic, and community service programs at area parks and community centers. SPD also works to build relationships through the Youth and Police Initiative, connecting police and young people through a series of mutual listening sessions throughout the year.
So traditionally, police have had a negative role, especially in the eyes of gang members or those involved in gangs or even thinking about the idea. And what we want to do is break that cycle, break down those barriers, and by engaging the youth and mentoring youth, we can have a greater impact just because we have a greater understanding of where they're coming from.
Circle, guys, circle.
SPS Campus Resource Officer Ed Richardson was one of 3 CROs to become certified in the Gang Resistance Education and Training Program this year. Grade instructors visit classrooms to mentor elementary and middle school students about bullying, peer pressure, drug use, and other issues.
I think it's a great opportunity for officers such as myself to get in the classroom and build relationships with our community and with our kids and let them know, hey, we are there for you to help you. And we see the statistics around the United States is young kids are starting to join gangs at 5th grade, 6th grade, 10 years old, and we want to try to prevent that in our school district and in Spokane, period.
Sometimes when you ask people, do we have a gang problem in Spokane, they'll tell you no, because when you look out in our community, we don't really see it. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Gang presence in Spokane looks a lot different than it does in other urban areas. However, the data shows that over the last 3 years, there's been an increase of youth joining gangs in Spokane.
Gang-Free Spokane has brought more mentors into schools to work with at-risk youth. Mentors like William Davis.
I had kids that come to school that weren't able to eat, and they come to school and they're hungry, they're angry. You send a kid to school early in the morning, even though school does have breakfast, by the time they get there, they're angry. They have a lot of opportunities, but they need to be geared to those opportunities. You have several colleges around here. There's no problem getting to college. They have grants, they have loans. The money is here. It's just sometimes the kids that get to maybe the 10th and 11th grade and I'm not seeing where I can go from there. And mentors and the teachers and the counselors, our jobs, to push these kids to the end, push them to the light, so to speak, to show them, that the opportunity, Spokane has the opportunity for you. Let's go get them together.
We know that we're not ever going to get rid of gangs. We will never be gang-free. We know that. However, if we are investing in prevention and intervention and suppression programs, we can make sure that our children are not being recruited by those gang members. And that by providing supports for the whole family unit, not only could we prevent more youth from joining gangs, but we can also help those parents exit the gangs and stop that generational gang cycle that we see here in Spokane.